News is brought to you each week by Bob Wine's Camellia Gardens and Nursery, keeping you blooming since 1952.
Need a mailbox rental but need more information? Remember, Personal Service Center, 789-6683. How does $10 a month sound with just a 3-month commitment? Remember, Personal Service Center, 789-6683. Mention WOCA and the setup fee is waived. Personal Service Center will email or text notifications to you when your packages arrive. Even scan mail so you never actually have to pick it up. Now that's service. Personal Service Center, 789-6683. Located on the corner of Northeast 25th Avenue and 24th Street, Ocala. Look for the yellow signs.
Putting the local back into radio. 24 hours a day, 365 days a year. WOCA News. Variety. Information. Now. Keep your arms and legs on the inside at all times.
Visit the WOCA website at www.woca.com. The most trusted name in news, Fox News, every half hour, only on 96.3 FM, 1370 AM, The Source. Ocala's information station, 1370 WOCA. Ocala!
It turned out to be a pretty nice looking day, huh? Boy, that rain came and went just like the weatherman said it would do, right? Exactly what happened. All right, let's see. 25 minutes before 11 o'clock, if I die and you take my place, let me give you some tips on what it's like to be Robin McBlain's partner. Are you ready for this? This is what it's like if you're Robin McBlain's partner. First of all, you're going to have to go lots of places because she goes lots of places. She needs this, that, and the other thing, and you're probably going to do it with her because she's fun. But the other thing, she knows everybody in town. You can't go anywhere and say, hey, Robin, hey, how you doing? So your job basically is to stand there and like analyze the labels on whatever is at the grocery store.
And look pretty.
Or you happen to be. So one of the couples that I met in that circumstance is in the studio. Two of the people I met, David and Judy Wright, are in the studio. David is here to talk about his book, The Gordians. It's a science fiction adventure novel, and Robin says she didn't even know that David was an author. So
he's very humble.
This is cool.
He's very private.
And just to also dazzle you a little bit, in addition to, I got to ask you about your engineering background because there was a story this morning. But David is a volunteer home builder with Habitat for Humanity. That's very close to our hearts. Did you know Robin did a house once?
Women's build.
Did you know the women's build? One day.
Oh,
one day.
We got pink hard hats.
David is also the recipient. It's not an award. It's the Golden Hammer Club or something.
Well, it's just a group of guys, and that's how we call ourselves.
Okay, a group of guys. And Judy, good morning to you.
Good morning.
And David, good morning to both of you. Thank you for coming in.
Well, thank you for having us.
This is exciting stuff. So let's talk about the book.
But David's an aerospace engineer.
I know.
Okay, all
right. We're going to talk about that.
Okay.
Well, see, there was this story this morning from NASA. See, now, Robin.
I'm sorry.
This is what happens if I die and you become Robin's partner. Forget about taking the show where you want it to go. So there's a story of photonic propulsion could send us to Mars in 3 days. Have you heard of this?
No.
You have the article.
Yeah.
Don't read it now. But that'll be something fun to read later on. Well, good morning to you. Thank you for coming in. Tell me about your writing. Have you been writing for a long time?
No.
No.
In fact, I wrote this book a long time ago, and
you did?
Just finally got it published primarily through the efforts of my daughter, who kind of pushed me.
Oh,
she pushed me.
Where does your daughter live?
She lives right now. She lives in Fairfax, Virginia.
Oh, okay. So this is a book you had kind of on as a manuscript somewhere?
Yeah. Well, I wrote it a long time ago. I tried to get it published. I went, sent it out to a few publishers, sent it to a couple of agents, and you have to be lucky. You have to find somebody who's in a good mood when they read it. When they're reviewing it and everything. And I knew no matter how good it is, there has to be an element of luck. And after a while, I decided, I wrote the book. That's what I really wanted to do.
Yeah.
The fact of getting it published was icing on the cake. And so I stopped for a long time. And then about 4 years ago, my daughter says, you know what? Let's self-publish. Now, self-publish now is a lot viewed a lot more favorably than it was 20 or 30 years ago.
Yeah, right. Absolutely, yes.
Yeah, back then it was called Vanity Press.
Right.
And she knows a lot about publishing because she runs a consulting business and she publishes a lot of her own books for her business. And so she is the one that got this thing all together, and we published it in hard copy first, and then last year, in fact in December, she was able to format it and send it out in ebook form for Kindle.
So is this the only book you've written, or have you written others?
No, this is the only book I've ever
written. And how long ago did you write it?
20 years.
20 years ago. And it's called The Gordians.
The Gordians.
Who were the Gordians?
Okay, the Gordians are a group of people that were appointed or selected by the Emperor of the Solon Empire to go about and solve tricky problems that could not be done officially. So they're very secret, and they're called the Gordians because that's after the Gordian knot, the legend of the Gordian knot.
Is this on Earth or someplace?
Well, no, they're just
This is another planet?
sometime way in the future. Who knows when?
Oh, this is the future. Is in
Yeah,
the future.
oh, yeah,
okay.
yeah.
Okay.
Instead of being a long, long time ago, it's a long time in the future.
Okay. All right.
And it's they go about, and they're called the Gordians after the Gordian knot, the legend of the Gordian knot, which was a knot in ancient, Middle East.
This part is true?
Yeah, this part is true.
Okay.
It's a Gordian knot was supposedly a knot that nobody could untie, and if anybody could ever untie.
Oh, I have one of them.
Yeah, it's like 600 BC. If anybody could untie it, the legend was, or the myth was, that they would become the next emperor of Asia. And Alexander the Great came upon this knot, and the most popular version of what happened is he tried to untie it, he couldn't, so he took out his sword and he cut it in half.
Oh,
that was his solution to undoing the Gordian knot. And so that's why I call it the Gordians, because they are involved in solving very tricky, delicate.
Oh, and this is right up your alley as an engineer, isn't it? Because that's what you do as an engineer, is you solve tricky problems.
Yes, we do.
That article I just handed you, it's basically about being able to travel from here to Mars in 3 days. But that's solving a tricky problem. I don't know if it's believable enough for somebody with your...
It sounds like it might be a version of what we used to call ion propulsion a long time ago.
Oh, okay.
But it takes a very long time for you to get up to speed, but it is supposedly a mechanism of getting to the ion propulsion.
But it's a solving problem kind of a thing.
Yes.
So that's in line with the book.
Right, and that's what an engineer does.
So is that, Judy, is this what he does all the time? He solves problems?
That's what he says.
I thought women don't like this. I always heard that women don't want you to solve their problems. They just want you to listen.
When there's a bug in the bathtub,
there you go.
A bug in the bathtub. So what kind of feedback have you had from the book?
From the friends that have read it, they all liked it. I had one friend young man who gave me a really glowing review on Amazon.
Oh, nice.
And he's a very critical person, so I was kind of satisfied with that. That made me feel good. But
Did you reread it after your daughter said she wanted to publish it? Did you go back and say, gosh, I can't remember what I wrote, or did you know it really well?
I knew it well enough to say, let's go ahead, but I have reread it several times.
Did you change anything before it was published?
No.
No, word for word, the way it was.
Yeah, well, pretty much. It might have been a word here or there to correct an error, but no, it didn't change any of the content or anything like that.
You have a phone call coming in. You ready to listen to a caller?
Okay.
Good morning. You're on the air with David Wright.
Yeah, good morning. This reminds me of a book I read a long time ago as a teenager called Mission to Universe, written by the late Gordon Dixon.
Oh.
And he talked about phase shifting.
What? Phase shifting?
It's a way to travel.
Yeah.
Travel long distances in space in a very short time.
Wow.
And, wow.
Sounds like you would like this book.
So, if you've never read that book, it's still available somewhere out there in the universe. I think you can
universe.
get it through Amazon.
All right. Thank you for the call. He probably would like the Gordians. So what do we learn in the book what the problem is that they have to solve?
Oh, yeah, that's what the whole
That's what
book
it's about. Okay.
And that comes about in the first or second chapter. I forget exactly when it happens.
So are we ruining the story if we go a little
Not
deeper?
the first couple of chapters,
Okay.
because it's a international, or I should say intergalactic, conference between the Solon Empire and the Andosian Empire to try to avoid galactic war, of which they had a very close call just a few years before this.
Galactic War, so there is another civilization on another
Yes,
planet somewhere.
yes,
Okay.
Yeah. That in the two, and you got the Solons and you got the Andosians, and those are the two primary forces within the known universe at that time. And they have a conference to try to get some means of having having peace forever between the two, rather than galactic war. And the conference is just wrapping up, and they look like it's very successful. And then the conference is attacked, and the the delegates from both empires are captured and are threatened to be killed within 3 days unless they acquiesce to their demands.
It's just such
Wow.
a shame that, that peace, everybody seems to want peace, but
Yeah.
then you always got the guys that don't want it, and you'd think everybody would learn, from way back to since the beginning of time.
Yes, yeah, that's but you have human beings involved. Mm-hmm. That's the primary problem.
We are going to take a little break, and we'll be right back. David and Judy Wright are in the studio. David has written the book called The Gordians. He is here in Ocala. He's been a volunteer with Habitat for a long time and has helped build some homes for people who need them. He's an aerospace engineer, Robin. I'm going to make sure I get this part in on the other side of the break. So we'll take that break right now, and we'll be right back.
Now, here's
Hi, this is JP from Penn Flooring here in Ocala. I would like to invite you to come in and visit our spacious showroom where we have solutions for every style and budget. From wall-to-wall carpet to hardwood floors and tiles, we have an unsurpassed selection of flooring. At Penn Flooring, we've provided quality customer service with a family touch for over 25 years. Visit our website at pennflooring.com or come by our showroom, 1201 Southwest 17th Street, just over the bridge. Penn Flooring, quality customer service with a family touch.
Cookies, 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 cookies. We go cookie eating cookies.
When you want something special and fun for any occasion, get cookies. King Cookie in the Paddock Mall in Ocala will make a delicious, fun-filled delight just for you. So next time you're in the mall, stop by King Cookie or call 352-237-2557. KingCookieOcala.com. Customized cookies, cakes, and more. King Cookie.
Eating cookies. We're so happy eating cookies. Cookies!
Here's what you may have missed on the John Tesh Radio Show.
A chaotic environment makes us feel out of control, so we eat and try to control how we're feeling. A recent study found that for every 3 hours we spend working, only 2 are actually productive, which means 1/3 of our work time is totally wasted. Carpet fibers are fluffy, so there's less surface area touching the food that's dropped compared to a wood floor, so fewer germs are transferred.
Intelligence for your life on the John Tesh Radio Show. Don't miss this stuff.
Hello, gorgeous.
Hi, this is Becky at Hello Gorgeous Salon. Let's get rid of those sun-damaged ends and faded out color and get into something rich and vibrant. It's time to get that new look started. So call today and set up your appointment at Hello Gorgeous Salon, 351-5358. Hello Gorgeous is a certified Brazilian blowout salon. We can tame those locks, leaving your hair healthy and shiny with a Brazilian smoothing treatment. And whether you're going on a job interview or out on a date, your hands do a lot of talking. Manicures are a must. Hello Gorgeous is a full-service salon, so let us help you make a great first impression. Call us today to set your appointment at Hello Gorgeous. Our number is 352-351-5358. Again, that's 352-351-5358. Hello Gorgeous is conveniently located in the heart of downtown Ocala, right next to the historic Marion Theater. And don't forget, we also do men and children's cuts too.
Hello, gorgeous.
All right, 12 minutes before 11 o'clock. Thank you for tuning in. We are getting to know David Wright and Judy Wright. Robin knows them well. You guys all go to the same church.
Correct.
Right?
Yeah,
St. John's
John Lutheran Church.
I used to go to the church a long time ago.
Oh, yeah?
You did.
Yeah, sorry, I dropped out.
We're saving a seat.
You're saving a seat? The book is called The Gordians, and it is published, and we will be giving away a copy in just a little bit. And David was so nice to bring a copy for Robin and for myself, and he even inscribed it. This is
Very
nicely done. I mean, I haven't read it, to be honest with you, but it's nicely done. Robin told me it was on Kindle, and I was going to go do that.
Yeah, I downloaded it.
But thank you for...
It's very nice.
So that's rather exciting that the book is published. Does it make you want to write another one?
No.
No?
Oh, really? You need to have a sequel or
Well, the thing is, this one, you know, I mean, let's be honest. You know, it hasn't not going to make me rich, and I don't see a point in writing another book if there's no market for it. If I can't get a market for it, and if this were to sell and take off,
then maybe.
You know, then I would. Okay. Because it lends itself to sequels.
Have you ever heard of it? This is not to promote another thing, but have you ever heard about the Writers of the Future Award?
No.
Robin will have to tell you about it. We have guests on all the time from this. It's free. It's a contest. It's free. Costs nothing. You just enter it and see what happens. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll send you
and
the link.
age doesn't
It's
matter.
really nice.
It doesn't matter. You don't have to be a young guy.
Yeah.
You can be any age.
What's nice about your book is that it's more than fantasy. It's more of an adventure.
Well, that's it, and that's why I wrote it, is because it's if you look at the really great science fiction stories from the 40s, 50s, and 60s, they're science fiction, you know, and they're in a science fiction setting, but they're primarily adventure stories. And the reason I got around to writing this book is that that all changed after the book Dune. Dune was an absolutely fantastic book. Okay.
Yeah.
I
read that.
And it created a whole world in exquisite detail and everything. But then it also was a great adventure novel. And then, but for like 15 years after that, all the science fiction writers would try to create a universe or a world. You know, they went to really great detail, and they forgot how to tell the story.
Yes.
They forgot how to tell an adventure.
That's an interesting observation.
Yeah, and so I just got tired of reading science fiction because it was just nothing but, you know, stuff about the world they had created.
Do you know what I wonder, though? Some authors have engineering backgrounds like you, and others don't. And I'm wondering if the one, like when we marvel at how science fact now looks like science fiction from the past, I wonder if those writers had sort of the kind of the thinking approach that you have. If for example, writing about a plane or a rocket that can get to Mars in 3 days, I mean, that guy might have known a little bit about physics and about engineering.
Well, all science fiction is based in some type of fact, and then take a leap of faith. You know, they project. Okay, and depending upon how good the writer is, you know, you find out whether or not it's going to come true. H.G. Wells was an absolutely great writer. Jules Verne was another one from, you know, back in the late 1800s, early 1900s, where they were able to project into the future remarkably well.
Even though Leonardo da Vinci wasn't a writer,
right?
You could see from his drawings that he was also one of those thinking people that could see into the future, so to speak.
Yeah.
Let me just brag about you. Robin gave me these notes for a reason. David Wright is an aerospace engineer, participated in the development of aircraft propulsion systems at the leading edge of technology that include the engines of the F-15 Eagle, the F-16 Falcon, the F-22 Raptor, and the unique propulsion system for the National Aerospace Plane. Wow. Do you fly? Do you fly a lot?
Oh, no. I mean, not personally. I get on an airplane and somebody carries me.
Does it drive fast?
It depends on the situation.
Are you fascinated with the technology of today?
Oh, yeah. The problem is that it's not advancing as quickly as it could, primarily because of
the market?
Social politics.
Oh my gosh.
I mean, back in the height of the moon, the space race, senators fought each other to be on the various committees to approve space programs. And then sometime shortly after the landing on the moons and everything like that, then it was pretty much well, this is not an awful lot of headlines here. Let's get off these committees and let's give them minimal funding, and they cut back on the funding and everything.
I think you're right.
Because it's not popular.
I think you're right. So would you ever buy a car that was self-driving? Would you trust your fellow engineers?
I would not be one of the first. Let's put it that way.
The book that we want to focus on is called The Gordians, and I want to make sure people look up the book. You said it's on Amazon?
It's on Amazon on either hardback, or paperback, or Kindle.
You have wonderful dialogue in the book also. I love the dialogue between
thank
the
you.
characters. You're not just about scenarios.
Yeah.
And they each have their own personality.
Yeah. That's what I try to develop. Is
You know what's going to be interesting for you is to see who your readers are. Are they going to be women or men, young or old? The book when did it come out again?
Well, the print version came out a couple years ago, I guess it was, and then the Kindle version last December.
Okay, so do you have an idea right now who the readers are?
No.
You would automatically think it'd be young men, wouldn't you, or men? But I bet you a lot of
I don't know.
Is there romance in the book?
Not really.
Not really.
Not really.
A little bit. There's something.
Well,
going
there's
on.
a hint of it.
And you do have tension going on.
Yes.
You do have tension going on there between the characters.
Yes.
That's really, really good too.
Right.
Yeah, we mentioned that you go to the same church as Robin. So if you don't mind, I'd like to bring religion into this, because an engineer who obviously believes in God is something we always wonder about. Not that an engineer shouldn't believe in God. I think scientifically. We had a caller one time who challenged me. He said, "What do you believe more in, science or God?" I said, "Both." I don't. I mean, if it works, it works, right? If something works, I don't understand the question. So, but what do you do? Do you use? Does your faith come into play when you're writing a story that is science fiction?
No, not really.
Not at all?
No.
So the other people on the other planet, those are the bad guys?
No, they're, where the conference was held are the bad guys. But the Andosian people are that's what they're trying to create a peace with, are not bad guys.
Because I always think, like in Star Wars, when they say, may the Force be with you, that's just like, may the Lord be with you.
Yes. Yeah, there's an overtone there.
Yeah, so I mean, I often wonder if that's really, if God really isn't explainable scientifically. If intelligence is, you have intelligence, that tree out there has enough intelligence to grow and keep feeding itself.
Religion is all about faith. Belief in God is all about faith, and by any definition, faith is, you can't reason it out. You cannot reason the existence of God, just like you cannot reason the non-existence of God. Nobody can prove it either way. So you accept it as a matter of faith.
That's right, yeah.
And we have a daughter who is a professor of biology, and she has a very strong faith. And you would think if anybody who studies biology, evolution, and all that might be challenged by that, she wasn't. And she's got a very strong faith.
Well, I think evolution probably complements God. You would think God would say, you know what, it's just like with cars. I mean, rockets and airplanes, they all evolve.
Yeah.
And there's a creator behind them.
Yeah, my favorite analogy there is that if you look at the modern explanation sequence, I should say, of evolution as to what came first, what came second, and so forth like that.
Yeah.
And then you read Genesis, it's the same sequence. Exact same sequence.
Interesting, yeah.
And you also are bringing up a good point about camaraderie. I mean, people have to accept others for who they are and what they believe in, and that's what you do in your book also. You've got people rallying together for the good of all.
Yes. Yeah, and that's one of the characteristics of science fiction is hope for the future of mankind.
So
personkind, whatever you want to call it.
So what do you think, using the expression from the book, cut the knot, what challenge do we have right now as a people, as a country? What do we need? What knot do we need to cut?
Oh, I don't know if I...
Is it the energy knot? Do we need to figure out how to... Was it water? I mean, are we ruining our water? Does it need to be cleaner? And
it would probably be the one. I'm not sure if it is the one, but one of them is, of course, the environment, to clean it up, We can spend hours discussing whether or not man is a result of or is causing the global warming and everything like that, or if it's just a natural cycle. And I tend towards that. But spending money to try to clean up the environment was never going to be wasted.
There you go. There's no question that we have dirtied the environment.
Yes.
All you got to do is land in L.A. You see it in the air.
Yeah.
Right?
And you are such a great mentor, too, because there are young people out there that need direction today. And just hearing you speak with your passion, not just your expertise, but you have this wonderful passion for your fellow man that you are very, very inspirational.
Well, thank you. Not everybody I meet would agree with that, but...
David and Judy, thank you so much for coming in. I know Robin was very excited about having you in the studio. David has given us two books to give away. If you would like the books that David gave us, you need to call right now, 622-9622. Your name will be waiting for you to pick them up. I mean, the book will be waiting for you to pick them up.
With your name.
Your name will be on them, yes. Mm-hmm. And there you go. The rest of us have to go buy them. Go buy one. You can get it as a Kindle download. And there you go. Well, here we go. We got some people calling in. Let me take the call and say goodbye. Good morning. You've got one of the books. Who's this?
This is Jim.
Okay,
This is Jim.
Okay, Jim. It'll be waiting for you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Jim. We'll take the next call off the air. Thank you. Thank you both for being in here.
Thank you.
Do you need to get to say much, Judy?
It's his day.
It's his day. Thank you, David Wright. Go look up the book, Gordians, The Gordians. We'll be right back.
Studios. This is WOCA, Ocala, Gainesville, The Villages, 1370 AM, 96.3 FM, The Source.
Fox News Radio, I'm Lillian Wu. In parts of the Gulf Coast, people assessing the